tilldeathinfo.com. It's your man Kil.
And I'm Dr. Roz.
Back for another week in action. You know what I'm saying? Wanted to send a big shout out to WHUR.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah, we were on for Valentine's Day to talk about romance on a budget, and then kind of spawned into just relationships and marriage and everything like that. So,
and Molette Green, she was amazing.
Yeah, she looked out. So good looking.
And Dr. Sharon,
yeah,
who also was on the show with us as well. She was hilarious.
Yeah.
Her statement about nobody wants to eat chicken every night was hilarious.
Yeah, so we trying to make it happen this year.
And Nicole Williams, Dr.
Yes.
Nicole Williams from Anne Arundel Community College. Thanks for having us out for your Black History program too.
Right, we were out at Anne Arundel Community College to talk
Which
out
was
there.
great.
Real good.
The students were very receptive and had a lot of questions.
Right.
So
yeah, so we trying to make it happen. We want to say shout outs to all our new followers because just from the time from being on the show to now, our following has, our daily views are up, our questions are up.
Yeah.
Another thing about the questions, because we've been getting so many, and we film a month at a time. So what we're gonna do is we'll be emailing you answers to your questions from both Dr. Roz and myself, so you don't have to wait for
a whole month
to get your question answered. So we'll be doing that. And also tilldeathinfo@gmail.com. That's how we'll be responding, because we don't want to have all your business on the webpage in our question category. So any questions, tilldeathinfo@gmail.com. So
speaking of questions, let's get into this question that we received. Dear Dr. Roz and Kil, your videos have touched me personally on so many different levels, and I'm so grateful to have found you two. Here is my question or situation. I have been with my boyfriend for almost 5 years in May. We've talked about getting a house together, marriage, and maybe kids one day. But recently we've hit a roadblock in our communication with each other. Dr. Roz had mentioned in a video where it's like you are just passing each other during the day, almost like we're taking each other for granted. I want to make it clear we do love each other very much. We are each passionate in our own way, but are also passionate for each other. We have been through many hurdles in our relationship, from his infidelity to my following insecurities, etc. But this communication hurdle seems to be the biggest. How do we get back on track to express into each other how much we care and love each other like we did when we were first dating? How do we get that spark back? Not just sex, but into our lives. How do we go from the stereotypical old married couple to the young new relationship couple? Thank you again for your videos. They always seem to speak to me when I need it most. First of all, thank you so much for those kind words.
We need that.
Yeah, we do. I mean, it's great to get feedback, to know that that our videos are helping you. So I'm great that we are meeting. I'm grateful that we are meeting that need for you. One thing that I wanted to talk about, and Kil is really good about this in terms of talking about his bankruptcy clause. The infidelity and the insecurities are normal. Those are normal reactions. When infidelity occurs, there is going to be insecurity, and there will be a moment in time and when you two have to grieve that part of the relationship and the trust that was lost during that time that your mate was cheating on you. So however long it takes is however long it takes until you two can get to the place to where you feel like you are comfortable with each other. The way that you're going to have to do that, though, is that you guys are going to have to become very vulnerable with each other. And indeed, what you asked, how do you get to that point of communication? Well, here's the truth. Even though he cheated, you're going to have to go to him and say, what could I have done better? And sometimes when our significant other cheats, we just put the blame on them, and we don't want to take the onus of how we may have played a role. And understand what I'm saying. Not that it was his choice to cheat. You did not make him cheat. It was his choice to cheat. Yet there may be situational factors that may have encouraged the cheating. So I think once you guys begin to talk about that, and ladies, here's where we go wrong. We get to a point to where we don't want to hear the truth sometimes, and we get defensive and we shut down, and so men feel like they can't be honest with us. You got to have a no holds barred kind of conversation where you guys can just sit and talk about whatever the issues are, because cheating isn't the issue. It's just a symptom. Again, I'll repeat that. Cheating is not the issue. It's a symptom of whatever the real issue is. So you guys are going to have to sit down and be honest with each other, become vulnerable, so that you can start creating that intimacy again and getting that spark back in your life. Kil, what say you?
What say you?
Yes, what say you?
You know me, I'm always a long division person. So I'm like, you're saying the communication was good. So when did it break down? Did it break down because of the infidelity? Did it break down before? And it's kind of like you got to figure those things out. Because it's just like going to the doctor. If something's wrong, the doctor's going to be like, when did you start having this pain? Okay, well, what was going on and all those things. So I think that's what we kind of got to do, is look at when did the communication breakdown happen. The communication breakdown, if it happened before the cheating, that may have been the reason for the cheating. I mean, it's different things. So it's just trying to figure out how that happened and then being able to get past the cheating. But I think a problem that, and since Roz, you saying some good stuff about the women, so I guess I'll throw the men under the bus for a minute. As men,
I listen, Kil. I listen to you.
As men, we have to do better at understanding that when we cheat, it's going to be consequences for that. I think for men, we look at it like, yeah, I cheated. It is what it is. Get over it. You know what I'm saying? And it's like, it doesn't work like that. We have to. I was just talking to my man the other day, and I'm like, dog, there's nowhere else in life that you can do something wrong and there aren't consequences. Yeah. You can't, if you get a speeding ticket, you're going to come out of pocket. Or you're going to be like me and try to keep getting it postponed, hoping that the cop don't show up so then the judge can throw it out. Or,
do you really do that?
Yeah, I do that. I don't pay no speeding tickets.
Are you kidding me?
No, I don't. You just write a letter saying you can't make that date, and you just keep postponing it, and then hopefully the cop won't show up.
I like it.
There you go. So there's going to be a consequence for everything. So as men, we have to understand, if we cheat, that's like breaking the law, and there are going to be consequences for it. It's not going to be just as simple as, okay, I did it, this is why, now I never want to hear this again. It's not going to happen. And at the end of the day, when you do something wrong, you take your ability to make decisions away from yourself. And what I mean by that is that if you kill somebody or you do something and you go to trial, you don't have any say in what your future holds. You've given that power to the judge and the jury. And it's the same thing with a marriage. If you cheat, you've now given that power to your spouse, and not really the power to, decide yay or nay, but this person, if they want to get past it, there are going to be questions. There are going to be those insecurities that just don't go away because you say, yeah, I did it, now get over it.
And it may not go away in a month.
Right, it may take years. But the thing is that's where, as men, we have to man up and say, if I want to stay in this marriage, then this is what I'm going to have to do to make my spouse be able to trust me again, to make it so that she doesn't have those insecurities. And at the end of the day, truth be told, we should want to do that. If you hurt somebody that you love, you should want to do whatever you have to do to repair it. But I think for us, we don't want to deal with why we did it. So it's also insecurities on our part, because it could be maybe you weren't doing everything for him, or it could just be some men just like to cheat. And that's just what we do. So at the end of the day, if I hurt you, I should want to have to go through the process of healing you and making you better. And I think as men, we have to get better at that, because then that just throws more insecurities onto our spouse. Because it's like, I couldn't imagine T cheating on me and then just being like, I did it, get past it. You know what I'm saying? So we have to become better at that. So, maybe that's where the communication breakdown came, because I know, like I said, a lot of men, if you bring it up a month later, it's like, yo, come on, I thought you forgave me. Why are we still talking about this a month later? It is what it is. And it's like, if you want to stay in that marriage, it's just like anything else. You in jail right now. You're going to have to do some time. You can either go on the run, but at the end of the day, you're going to be knocked for a minute. It may be probation. It may be whatever. But I'm just saying, the same way I say that in getting married, it's hard work. Everything in life is hard work. And people expect marriage just to come easy. And it's not. And it's the same thing. everywhere in life there are consequences. So you can't do something wrong.
Everything in life is hard work.
Yeah, but
going to your job is hard work.
But we look at marriage like it's not. This is supposed to be.
Yeah.
We look at it like this is supposed to be the place where it's not hard work. This is where I can come to get away from hard work. Marriage is supposed to be my Jamaica. You know, I'm not supposed to worry. There's no worrying in Jamaica. You remember when me and T went to Cancun, and I came back and we'd be at work and I'd be like, I used to say something like Cancun and something like we
it used to be
something
like
would be
no worries or something.
I'd say something, but the moral was that vacation it was no worries, and that's what we think marriage is supposed to be. It's supposed to be this place where we get away from all the problems, we get away from all the stresses, and then when we realize that it's just as stressful, it's like if you stressed in Jamaica, you like I might as well go back home if I'm gonna be. So that's the thing. That's not marriage. Marriage is just like anything else. And men, if we do something wrong, we have to own up to it. And at the end of the day, the decision is still in your hands. If you don't want to be there, then leave. If you don't want to hear her asking about, well, why'd you do this and what, leave. Yeah. Just leave. But if you decide to stay, then this is what you're going to have to do. It's the same thing with doing a crime. If you want to do a crime and you don't get caught, leave. Go to Mexico. Go to Portugal. Go to another country. But if you want to stay, you're going to have to deal with the consequences that the United States of America are going to have for you doing your crime. So the decision's up to you.
I think another thing is too, and I want to go back to something you said, Kil, in terms of, you know, maybe sometimes the cheater doesn't want to deal with the reason why they're cheating. Mm-hmm. And I think because of that, it's just so much easier to, the guilt, really, when they confess or they're found out, the guilt is what's saying, I'm sorry. In the beginning, initially, I don't really think it's the person that's saying they're sorry. Because, you know, when you know you're doing something wrong, the guilt will get you. And the guilt will drive you crazy. And so if people really get honest and really get real and, you know, move past that initial phase of, I'm sorry, then, you know, you'll understand that that forgiveness was for you. It really wasn't for the person that you hurt. And so now you've got to go back and do the work for the person that you hurt. And I think a lot of people just say, I said I was sorry, what more do you want? Well, there's a whole lot more that a person needs, because now this person can't trust you anymore. And once you break that barrier of trust, it's very hard to get that back. And depending on someone's background, depending on their first source of mistrust of someone that may have hurt them, you may be triggering some long-term issues that they may have dealt with. So it's just, at bottom line, cheating destroys families. And I don't care if it's just the two of you. You're still a family. So people, please be wise about what you do, because there are consequences to everything that you do. And those consequences sometimes are not redeemable. Right. Sometimes you can just go so far as to really cause some serious issues for someone. So in order for you guys to get the spark back, you've got to spend that quality time with each other and get real with each other and figure out what it is that causes these issues. You got to do a diagnostic check. It's what and that's just the reality of it. You got to diagnose whatever the issues are. And sometimes the issues are very small that have grown into something gigantic. And then it becomes resentment. And then it becomes, I don't want to be around this person. And then it becomes, I don't even think I like this person. So you guys have got to find out whatever it is that tore you guys apart. You know, Kil made that analogy, and I think it's great. And a lot of people have, made comments in terms of, the marriage and the couch, and you're on this end and you're on this end, and the space in between, you have to fill that space up. And I think when people start getting real with each other and real about their issues, that space will be, it will no longer be a gap. So that's what you guys need to try to work on, trying to fill that space. And the way to fill that space is to talk about what's going on with you. And ladies, let me just tell you this. You can't go to a guy saying, we need to talk. He's going to shut down immediately, and he's going to become defensive, and he's not going to hear anything that you have to say. You want to have a conversation, just start talking. Just start talking. Don't, preface it with, we need to talk, because you're not going to get anywhere.
Yeah, so prayerfully we answered your question, and if not, hit us back and we'll try to go deeper. And like I said, you know, Roz and I are both dedicated to replying via email so that people don't have to wait. So tilldeafinfo@gmail.com. Check out the site. Well, y'all here, so do I really got it? Well, tilldeafinfo.com.
Check out the site.
Check out the site.
And tell a friend.
Tell a friend. Subscribe to the blog. Like us on Facebook.
That's
Share
what
us
we
on
need.
Facebook.
Give us more subscriptions.
Yeah,
YouTube and here. Yeah.
All that good stuff. So, I'm just glad Shorty shared that, you know, the videos, you know, help and everything like that. So that's a good thing. So
absolutely. Keep
it locked, tilldeafinfo.com.
I'm Dr. Roz.
I'm Kil.